is a beautiful Easter Monday. Good morning and welcome to Carnival Breakfast Show, coming to you from Carnival Radio. This is newspaper review, and I have different newspaper with me this morning. I have Punch, I have Vanguard, I have the Nation newspaper, and I have the Daily Post, and each newspapers with different interesting stories. But to begin the news this morning, here are the headlines. Senate shift resumption to May 6. SEC warns influencers, bloggers against promoting unregistered schemes. Reduce housing sector taxes, operators urge government. NYC releases postings for prospective corps members, warns against night travel. Interest boom. 9 local banks generate 14 trillion naira from loans. That will be all for the headline. So begin the news this morning. My name is Joseph Oyekola. Now to the news and details. I read from the Punch newspaper. The leadership of the 10th Senate has announced a shift in the date of its resumption. The earlier date for resumption was fixed for April 29, 2025. However, the new date has been adjusted to May 6. The announcement was contained in an internal memo dated April 20, 2025, addressed to all senators and signed by the Senate Clerk Andrew Ugbona Nwoba. The postponement was hanged on International Workers' Day public holiday, which is celebrated on May 1, and for the lawmakers to take their time to attend to key constituency engagement. Also, news may report that the Senate had on March 27 adjourned the plenary to allow lawmakers to observe the Easter and Eid al-Fitr holidays. The news was sourced from the Punch newspaper. For more details, please visit the Punch newspaper. Alright, moving forward to the Nation newspaper. The National Youth Service Corps has released Stream 1 posting for the 2025 Batch A prospective Corps members. This is just as it's noted that the signing and printing of the addendum is vital for camp entry. According to a series of posts on its X handle on Monday, the NYSC said the document is crucial for registration and to avoid potential service disruptions, as some camps may require it for verification. It stressed that the addendums is typically accessible on the NYSC dashboard after successful online registration. Why? NYSC has also stated that some prospective corps members deployed to Lagos will have their orientation course in Ogunodo and on some camps, while some PCM deployed to Abuja we have the orientation camps in Nasarawa and Kaduna camps. It also advised PCMs not to travel at night to the orientation camp. This news was sourced from the Nation newspaper. For more details, please visit their website. NYC releases postings for prospective corps members, warns against night travel. Moving to Vanguard newspaper, SEC warns influencers, bloggers against promoting unregistered schemes. The Securities and Exchange Commission has warned influencers, bloggers, and celebrities to desist from promoting unregistered investment schemes or risk legal consequences. In a statement made available to newsmen on Sunday, the warning follows the enactment of the Investment and Security Act 2025. it was signed into law by President Bola Tinubu. The new law explicitly defines Ponzi schemes and empowers the Commission to impose a minimum fine of 20 million and a jail term of 10 years on promoters of such schemes. Speaking on the new provisions, the SEC's Director General Emomotimi Agama said the Commission is working closely with Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the Nigerian Police Force, and other law enforcement agencies to investigate and prosecute violators. Also, he noted that the SEC is intensifying its crackdown on Ponzi operators following the collapse of CBEX, a digital investment platform accused of defrauding Nigerians of over 1.3 trillion naira. CBEX reportedly lured investors with promises of unrealistic returns and false claims of global avalations. According to the SEC boss, the HESA 2025 also brings digital assets under the regulatory oversight of the Commission for the first time. He said virtual assets are now officially recognized as securities, and as such, virtual asset service providers and digital asset exchanges are mandated to register with SEC and comply with relevant rules. This news was sourced from the Vanguard newspaper. For more details, please visit the website. SEC warns influencers, bloggers against promoting unregistered schemes. In the meantime, I read from the Daily Post newspaper. Stakeholders in the housing sector have said that the multiple taxes levied on the private sector were stifling the industry. The President, Association of Town Planning Consultants of Nigeria, BC Adedire, identified multiple taxations, levies on land across the military and agencies of government as issues affecting private sector operators in the building industry. Disclosed that these at a two-day workshop in Oyo State themed the impact of emerging technologies on urban and regional planning, challenges and opportunities. In a similar vein, an estate surveyor, Olorunuyomi Alatishe, said the multiplicity of taxation in the housing sector was one of the reasons people were reluctant to regularize their landed property. Meanwhile, the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development, Lagos State, Oluwole Sotire, said the government has a responsibility to render service to the people it serves, but also noted that citizens too are expected to pay land taxes and levies. Speaking on planning regulations as something beneficial to everyone, lamenting that citizens, including individuals in governments, sometimes latch onto the weak end of government to cut corners and contravene the planning regulations. For more details, please visit the Punch newspaper. Reduce housing sector taxes, operators urge government. On to the last news, our newspaper review this morning, I read from Punch newspaper. 9 Nigerian banks ranked in a combined interest income of 14.26 trillion naira in 2024. Analysis of the audited financial results of the financial institution shows, as the banks made trillions of naira from the interest on loans given to customers during the reviewed period, manufacturers counted their losses, grounding under the weight of soaring borrowing costs, totaling 1.3 trillion naira for the same period. Analysis of the audited financial results of Fox Holdco, Guarantee Trust Holding Company, Zenith Bank PLC, United Bank for Africa, FCMB Group, Fidelity Bank, Stanbic IBTC Holdings, Access Holdings, and Wema Bank filed with the Nigerian Exchange Limited indicated that the interest income earned by the banks in the 2024 financial year rose by 119.55% to 14.26 trillion naira compared to 6.49 trillion naira in the previous year. According to a Corporate Finance Institute, interest income is the amount paid to an entity for lending its money or letting another entity, individual, or a corporate use its fund. Commercial banks in their finance intermediary roles provide funding for the productive sectors of the economy. A breakdown of the results of the 9 banks showed that Access Holdings grew its interest in income by 98.69% to 3.11 trillion naira from 1.56 trillion naira in the previous year. This news was sourced from the Punch newspaper. For more details, please visit the Punch newspaper. Interest boom. 9 local banks generate 14 trillion naira from loans. To bring the newspaper review to a close this morning, here is a recap of headlines. Senate shift resumption to make 6. SEC warns influencers bloggers against promoting unregistered schemes. Reduce housing sector taxes. Operators urge government. NYC releases postings for prospective corps members. Warns against night travel. Interest boom. Then local banks generate 14 trillion naira from loans. With that, we've come to the end of Newspaper Review. Thank you very much for listening. You can download Carnival Media app from Google Play Store and App iOS. You can also check out our website at www.carnivalmedia.ng. Happy Easter. Please to ensure you enjoy yourself and you abide to the rule of the government. Till next time, I'll be coming your way. I mean my home self. Oyo State. Good morning, and please do well to enjoy your day.